Following the ratification of the Constitution of the United States, the Electoral College unanimously elected George Washington to serve as the United States' first president. The former general and commander-in-chief of the Continental Army served 2 terms as president, holding the office from 1789 to 1797. On June 1, 1789, President George Washington signed the country's first act of Congress concerning the administration of oaths. In 1791, President Washington presided over the nation's first recorded cabinet meeting, which included Alexander Hamilton as the United States' first Secretary of the Treasury and Thomas Jefferson as the first Secretary of State. President Washington himself laid the cornerstone for the United States Capitol building in Washington, D.C. on September 18, 1793. Washington also laid the groundwork for the United States' earliest foreign policy stance when he issued his Declaration of Neutrality in 1793, a direct response to the emerging conflict between England and France. The Coinage Act of April 2, 1792, commonly referred to as the Mint Act. This act establishes the United States Mint at Philadelphia, the nation's capital at the time. The Mint Act called for the production of the following coins and specified their weight in gold, silver or copper: half cent, cent, half dime, dime, quarter dollar, half dollar, dollar, quarter eagle $2.50, half eagle $5, and eagle $10. Act of May 1792. This act authorizes the director to purchase up to 150 tons of copper for the coining of cents and half cents. Act of January 14, 1793. This act establishes the metal content of cents and half cents. Act of February 9, 1793. This act establishes foreign exchange rates and ends the acceptance of foreign coinage, with the exception of the Spanish mill dollar as legal tender in the United States. Act of March 3, 1794. This act provides an accounting method of receiving metals for the purpose of producing coins from the metals received. Act of March 3, 1795. This act establishes the positions of melter and refiner of the United States Mint and grants the President the authority to reduce the amount of copper used in both the cent and half cent. Zachary Taylor, 12th U.S. President, was born in 1784 in Virginia. His family moved shortly after his birth to a plantation outside Louisville, Kentucky, where he spent his childhood. His long Army career began at the age of 23, and for the next 30 years, he served in many remote outposts that stretched from Louisiana to northern Wisconsin. He led his forces to decisive victories in the Mexican-American War, which earned him the nickname Old Rough and Ready. His reputation as a national hero made him an attractive presidential candidate, and he won the general election in a 3-candidate race. Although he had little prior political experience, Taylor proved to be independent-minded, to the dismay of his political party, the Whigs. As the debate over slavery in Western territories threatened to tear the country apart, he was determined that the Union be preserved at all costs. He warned Southern leaders that he would command the army himself, if necessary, to enforce the law. Taylor became ill after attending a long ceremony at the Washington Monument on a scorching 4th of July in 1850. He died 5 days later, having served only 16 months in office. He was the second president to die in office. A student of both history and law, James Madison attended the College of New Jersey, later known as Princeton University, returning to his native Virginia to help craft that state's constitution, as well as serving as a leader in the Virginia Assembly. Following the American Revolution, Madison was instrumental in determining the course of the new republic and in framing the government of the new nation. With Alexander Hamilton and John Jay, Madison wrote the Federalist Papers, a series of 85 essays that advocated the adoption of the United States Constitution. In Congress, James Madison helped secure passage for the Bill of Rights. France and Great Britain were at war when James Madison was elected to the presidency. Though he favored a more neutral position, The continued harassment of American sailors, combined with the seizure of American cargo, forced President Madison to ask Congress for a declaration of war with Great Britain on June 1, 1812. Act of December 2, 1812. This act directs the location of the United States Mint to remain in Philadelphia for another term of 5 years, beginning March 4, 1813. Act of April 29, 1816. This act authorizes certain gold and silver coinage from foreign countries as current and legal tender for the payment of all debts within the United States. Specific rates of exchange are enumerated for the coins of England, Spain, Portugal, and France. The Act also calls for an annual assay of such coins made current by the Act, and for a report to the Congress detailing the results. The United States Mint honors our nation's presidents by issuing $1 coins featuring their images in the order that they served. The program began in 2007 with Presidents Washington, Adams, Jefferson, and Madison. Note: in December 2011, Secretary of the Treasury Timothy F. Geithner directed that the United States Mint suspend minting and issuing circulating presidential $1 coins. Regular circulating demand for the coins will be met through the Federal Reserve Bank's existing inventory of circulating coins minted prior to 2012. The Presidential $1 Coin Act, Public Law 109-145, seeks to revitalize the design of United States coins and return circulating coinage to its position as an object of aesthetic beauty in its own right. Accordingly, the Presidential $1 coins feature larger, more dramatic artwork, as well as edge-encased inscriptions of the year of minting or issuance, e pluribus unum, and the mint mark. From 2007 to 2016, the Mint issued 4 presidential $1 coins per year, each with a common reverse design featuring a striking rendition of the Statue of Liberty. The composition of the presidential $1 coins is identical to that of the Sacagawea Golden Dollar and the Native American $1 coins.